So are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So guys, yesterday we had discussed about the cloud computing, right? So what is cloud computing? And we have defined an example for that. So all these things, right? So anyone missed this class, just go to the video and just go through this session. So you'll understand what we had discussed yesterday. Okay. So I asked you guys to just explore the things. Did you guys done that? Like what are the products we have? Just a high level. Anyone had a chance to look into that? Okay, no problem. Yeah. So today, so we are going to discuss about the project. Okay. So project in the sense, like it's a kind of real-time project. Okay. We the slide where we start. Right. So give me a minute. I just want. Yeah. Let me stop my screen share. Think there is. Yeah. So are you guys able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. So yesterday we had discussed about the cloud computing details and all, right? So today, so I'm going to explain the real-time project, like how the real-time project will work. So what are the things we need to do in the real-time project? So what is our role? Okay. So in that real-time project. So we'll discuss like in detail, like how exactly the real-time project so will be so looks like. Okay. And so how we need to so go to the company and how we need to work for that company. So in what way the I mean the user stories will come. So all these details today we'll discuss in this session. Okay. So yeah. So today's agenda is uh, so so we'll discuss about the project and what are the roles we are having in this project, and so who is the client. So business is like who is the a client for us and who are going to use our product, like whatever the product we developed. So who are the, I mean, who is the users going to use so our applications. Okay. Like how we need to deploy the things. So so all this information, so today we will so going to learn things. Okay. Yeah. So coming to the project. So what is a project? Can anybody tell what is a project? Any guess? I mean, it's simple. So, see, project is a term which we'll use in the business organizations. So, project is a see, if someone asked us, okay, to do to develop something, right? So that is nothing but a project. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about CG sales and service project. Okay. CG means Crompton Greaves. I think you will have an idea, right? What is Crompton Greaves? It is a సో మీరు చూస్తే సీజీ అంటే మనకి ఫ్యాన్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా క్రాంప్టన్ కంపెనీ ఫ్యాన్స్ సో దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ద సీజీ మీన్స్ ఓకే సో వాట్ ఈస్ అవర్ రోల్ సో వాట్ ఈస్ మై రోల్ ఇన్ దిస్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ సో టుడే so we are still a learner, right? So today, so my role is Salesforce administrator. So maybe after the development has done, so maybe you can change your role to Salesforce developer. Okay. So today my role in this project is Salesforce administrator. Today I'm going to do only out of box functionalities in this project. Okay. So what are the tools so we need to use for this project? So that is we have the lightning experience, VS Code, Git, so sandbox production, Git rally. So these are the tools we need. So we are going to use in this project. So you might not heard about these things, but so going forward, so you can have a clear picture like what are the tools. Okay. So domain. So domain. So this Crompton Greaves domain is retail and supply chain management. Okay. So what is the domain for Swhizz Technologies? It is an education or training. Okay. So what is the domain for State Bank of India? It is a banking domain, right? So what is domain for Apollo Hospitals?
Health. Pharmacy, medicine. Health.
Yes, pharma and health, right? So domain represents so మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నాం so what is the business, okay, what is the business of that company, okay, which defines the domain. Okay, so these terms and all, so going forward you have to keep in mind. So because these are the terms which everyone will be using in the companies. Okay, and description. Okay, can somebody ask you like what is the, I mean, can you describe about your project or can you describe about your company kind of thing? Okay, then you have to explain about this project. For example, you went for an interview today. Okay, so first and foremost thing, so what they will ask, so tell me about yourself. So after that, so what is your project, right? So can you tell me, so what is your project and what are the roles so you have in that project? So then you have to describe your project. So that is what the description you need to, okay. So here, so we have a small description kind like CZ Power and Industrial Solutions Limited, previously known as Crompton Greaves, is an Indian multinational company engaged in design, manufacturing, and marketing of products related to power generation, transmission, and distribution based in India. So this is the description of our project, right? Now, so he will ask like, what are the responsibilities that you are handling in your project, right? So then you have to inform, yeah, you have to tell the recruiter, yeah, I involved in the project user stories, grooming sessions, and sprint planning sessions, involved in developing spike design respective to user stories. So these are all, so I am deploying the activities, I'm participating in production deployments and release engineering activities, right? So these are all the responsibilities that you are going to work in your project, right? This slide is very important, guys, because you have to read every day, okay, going forward, because the first and foremost thing he will ask, I mean, wherever you go, the first and foremost thing the interviewer will ask you, what is your project? Because he wants to know whether you are the real guy or not, right? So, this is the first and foremost thing people will ask. And also, they may ask you the details in the project also. So, in order to confirm, yeah, you are the real guy, right? So, these are all the synopsis for this project. Like, what is the project name? So, what is your role? So, role may change, okay? So, tools, what are the tools you have used in this project? So, you need to explain each and every importance of that particular tool. For example, I am using the VS Code. Here I mentioned VS Code. So what is the use of VS Code? Okay. So here I'm using Git. So he will ask, so what is the use of Git? So whatever you present on on your resume, so he will ask the questions, from the tools itself. Okay. So that's why your resume is also important. So whatever you know, you have to place those things in the resume. Okay. So yeah, so domain is retail and supply chain management, and description you can describe about the project. The responsibility is very important. Okay. So what are the responsibilities? Responsibilities are nothing but the daily activities what you are going to do. Simple. Okay. So the work what you are going to do in your project. Okay. So for example, consider, so today we are going to understand about CG, sales and service process, right? So can anybody tell what the Amazon will do? I mean, so how the Amazon business will work? What is the core in the Amazon business or Flipkart business?
And service.
Sorry.
Sales and service.
Yes, sales and service. So what sales meant to? Can anybody tell what? So sales and ఏంటి?
Sales means like Amazon products sold by customers.
Yes, exactly. So sales are nothing but we have to sell our products, right? So that means, so for example, as a customer, I need to I need to buy a product, for example. So what I need to do first, can anybody tell? I need to buy a product in Amazon or Flipkart. So what should I do?
First of all, going to Amazon website and what I need that product, checking that and uh,
First of all, we have the application to access.
Mm-hmm. Right. So before that, you should have an account, right? In the Amazon. So whatever you guys said is right. But so whenever somebody asks a question, right? So you have to tell from the scratch. So for example, I am a customer. Okay. So now I need to buy a product in Amazon or Flipkart. So first of all, what I need to do, I need to go to the website. I need to create an account, right? And I need to verify that account by getting some OTP or some email confirmation, right? So after that, so I need to check for the product, right? And so if it is available, then I need to place an order. Then I need to do the payment. Then my order will be successful, placed successful, right? These are the steps we have, right? So, this is the entire process of buying a product. Agree? Right. So now I placed a product in Amazon, for example. So I created an account and I verified my account and I have seen my product and I just placed the product. So what Amazon will give you the message? Order placed successfully. So you may get this order by this time or in a week or in a day or in 2 days, right? So this is the front end what you guys are looking into, right? But what exactly will happen in the backend? Backend ఏం జరుగుతుంది means మనం order, so whenever you placed an order, right, it directly won't go to the database, right? So there will be a middle guy, so who is called a sales guy. Okay, for example, so we are going to place an order that is known as order management. Okay, so for example, we are the customers. Okay, so when you place an order, right, so what will happen? So there will be a guy in the middle who will take care of our orders. So why there should be a middle guy? Because, for example, so I placed an order today, but the vendor who has, so I mean, tie up with me, so may not have this order available by that time, right? Sometimes you will get a message like after, so for example, today I placed an order. So sometimes 2 days, so I mean, 2 days later, we will get a message like your order got cancelled, right? Why this is happening? There will be a middle guy who will check the so the I mean the availability of our product in the database, right? So there should be a middle guy who will take care of all these things, and he will raise a request. Okay, he will raise a request to the Amazon services, Amazon site. Okay, and the Amazon service will generate the order for us. So that will directly coming to our UI. Okay, so this is how the management or like order management will work, right? But for us, on a front end, so for front end, so everything is like so on click, right? So in like fraction of seconds, everything will be done. So it won't be in that way. So there will be a middle guy from the Crompton or Amazon or Flipkart who will so track our product. So whether we have the sufficient inventory is there or not, everything will be in sync, right? So this is how we have the manage. The similar way, coming to the service, what is service? So sales is like, so we need to sell our products. That is the its company's main motto, right? So what is service then?
Whatever.
Yeah, service is nothing but you have to solve this. It's went wrong. Yeah, so I have some issue with this PPT. Okay, so this. So what is service? Is so service is, so I bought the product in Amazon, right? So there is an issue with my address. So what I need to do? I need to call or I need to raise a service request to the Amazon. So you have a customer support, right? That is customer support is nothing but a service. Okay. So why service we need? So that is what yesterday we discussed, right? That is what decides the customer relationship. So మనం ఎంత so frequent గా customer తో interact అవుతామో, that is what the customer will like in us, right? So we have raised a service request. Okay, so if somebody immediately respond, okay, to us, then so we will be happy, right? So if somebody responds after a week, then it won't be good. So we need to, I mean, we'll change our mind to some other website like Flipkart or some other thing, right? So relationship is a main. So that's where the service is one of the main factor in our business. This is what the sales and service, right? Guys, every time, okay. So you need to remember the project name, the description of the project, and the responsibilities. Okay, every day you have to read this slide because this is the what we need to explain to the interviewer. Right? This is a main first and foremost thing. So which will give a good impression on you. Okay. So when you are going to an interview. So that's where you have. So every day you have to see the responsibilities. What is the responsibility? So you might not understand these responsibilities. So what is meant by so design KT documents, sir? So and what is a unit test document, sir? So no need to worry. So once the training done, so you people get understand like what exactly it is. Okay. Yeah. So who is the end user? Okay, who is the end user? For example, I can say I will give a real-time example. Okay. Uh, so I am a developer. Okay. So consider I am a developer. So we are the developers, for example. So we are all as a team. Okay. So we are around here, we have 19 members, 20 members. So we are as a team. So we are all the developers, right? I am the lead for you all guys. Okay. So Subbu garu came to me. Okay. Subbu garu came to me and asked, sir, for Swhizz Technologies, I need a small UI, sir. I need a small application, sir. I want, like, what are the trainees coming to my institute? I need to store all the information, sir. Right? I think మీరు స్విస్కి వచ్చినప్పుడు so somebody will take the form, right? So that is a manual work, right? So going forward, Subbu garu will, I mean, thought like, so this is like manual intervention. So I need a small UI. So where I need to enter all my trainees data and I will store in the computer. So that's what Subbu thought. And he came to me and he asked me, sir, I need some application, sir. So where I can store all the trainees information in my system. So because that is a safe, right? Is so instead of paper. So okay, sir. So then what? So we will ask to Subbu, right? So what is your budget? Right? That's the first and foremost thing. Any developer or any service provider companies, right? So I mean, we are not a company for now. So we are just a freelancing team. Okay. I'm leading the team and you guys are the developers. And the first thing I will ask is, so what is your budget? Right? And he will tell, sir, I don't have much budget. So I just having, it is just a small application, right? Just to store the information, right? So I have around 1 or 2 lakhs, sir. So that's it. Okay. So, for any application, right? So for any application, okay, for any application. So what I will tell to Subbu, sir, for any application, you should have a user interface, right? So you guys know, right? What is user interface? It's a familiar word, right? Whatever you are looking on the screen, that is what a user interface, right? Where exactly, so we will enter the details. For example, simple example, I can say, so you are going to log into SwissTechnologies.com, for example. So you have to first sign up, right? So when you click on sign up, you will get a page. That is a sign up page. That is a UI, right? So after entering all the details, what it will do? So whenever you click on save, so what exactly will happen? That will go to the database, right? Database, I mean, you can call it as a database, you can call it as a server, or you can call it as a storage. Yesterday we had discussed, right? So server, database, there is nothing but supercomputers. That is a vendor computers, right? So here, so whenever you enter any details, it will go to the database. So then what I will tell to Subbu, sir, you should have a user interface and you should have a server. You have to maintain a server for this because all the trainees information has to go to your database, right? Now, so what will happen? So after sign up, you people have, so you'll have to log in, right? So you will click on the login button. So what exactly will come? So, so it will ask the username and password. So that is a UI. Then, so whenever you click on login button, it will fetch the data from the database, right? This is the general thing. So any website or any application, so will work in this way. So there should be a UI and there should be a backend server. So when you click on save, these details will go to the database. And when you try to get the data, so it will give you the data from the database. This is a common thing for any application. So not only Swhizz Technologies, any application, any project application, this is a mandate. So I will tell to Subbu sir, so these are the things we have to maintain. Okay, if you go to the traditional way, right? So yesterday we had discussed it, right? IaaS, PaaS, PaaS, SaaS, infrastructure as service, and also traditional service. Traditional service, I mean, traditional technology means it's a traditional technology. You should have an interface, you should have a server, right? So you have to maintain server, sir. Okay. Then I will inform him, sir, if you go for traditional, right? So you have to maintain server in Madhapur. So because your institute is in Madhapur. Okay. So tomorrow, if I want to place this so branch in Kokatpalli, for example, again you have to set up all the setup in the Kokatpalli also. Means that you have to maintain a server in Kokatpalli. So that the Kokatpalli, I mean trainees, so information will be there in that server. So Madhapur trainees data will be there in Madhapur server. If you go to Kukatpalli and if you want to try to access the Madhapur trainees data, you won't get it. So because this data is stored in this Madhapur server. So if you want to access Kukatpalli trainees data, right? So I'm not able, I mean, I can't because that data is stored in the Kukatpalli server, right? Then these things I will explain to Subbu sir. These are the problems will come. Okay, if you go to traditional technology, these are the problems. So you may come. I mean, you may get it because see, so for example, tomorrow, I mean, you will expand your business, for example. So I will go to Vijayawada and I will expand my business to Vijayawada also. Then you have to set up separate server in the Vijayawada branch also, right? Then you can't access this data across the branches. So if you want that, you have to go for cloud, right? Actually, actually we had discussed the same thing. So in order to access the data across all the branches, you have to keep this data in the cloud, sir. So I will explain all these things to Subbu before going to the develop the application, right? అర్థమవుతుంది కదా? You guys understand what I'm trying to say? Hello? Yeah, okay. సో ఇప్పుడు నేను అక్రాస్ బ్రాంచెస్ నేను డేటా యాక్సెస్ చేసుకోవాలనుకుంటున్నాను అని చెప్పి సుబ్బుగడ్డలు సో డిసైడెడ్ సో యా ఐ నీడ్ దిస్ బికాస్ నేను కూకట్పల్లికి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు ఐ నీడ్ టు యాక్సెస్ ద ట్రైనీస్ హూ ఆర్ ఇన్ ది మాదాపూర్ రైట్ సో నాకు కావాలి అనుకుంటారు సో అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తాను సార్ దెర్ ఇస్ ఎ క్లౌడ్ సేల్స్ ఫోర్స్ క్లౌడ్ మెనీ క్లౌడ్స్ ఆర్ దేర్ ఎక్స్ట్రా వీ హ్యాడ్ డిస్కస్డ్ మెనీ క్లౌడ్స్ ఆర్ దేర్ బట్ బికాస్ హియర్ సార్ మనకి సర్వర్ మెయింటైన్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. Okay, so no need to maintain any server here in the cloud if you go to Salesforce. ఈ టెన్షన్స్ అన్ని మనకు వద్దు సార్. సో హ్యాపీ వీ కెన్ టేక్ ద ప్రొడక్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ Salesforce, విచ్ వీ కెన్ యూజ్ డైరెక్ట్లీ బై పేయింగ్ సమ్ రెంట్. మనం కొంచెం రెంట్ ఇచ్చేసి మన అప్లికేషన్ తీసుకొని సింపుల్గా వాడేసుకోవచ్చు. నో నీడ్ ఆఫ్ సర్వర్ మెయింటెనెన్స్. మీరు అక్కడికి వెళ్ళినా ఇక్కడ యాక్సెస్ వస్తుంది. సో రేపు పొద్దున్న మీ బిజినెస్ ఎక్స్టెండ్ చేసుకున్నా యూ కెన్ గెట్ ఆల్ ద data. Okay, you can just log in to the Salesforce site and you can get all the information. So it's a cost effective also. All right. So I will suggest many clouds. Okay. And by giving explanation like, okay, so Salesforce అయితే ఈ features ఉంటాయి. So these are the features ఉంటాయి. Then he will decide, okay, so Salesforce, you can go for Salesforce because this is very cost effective and also, right? So ఇప్పుడు so we are ready with the project, right? మనం as a team గా so we are ready. So Subbu garu accepted that. So they want the application to be built in Salesforce, right? So now what I need to do? Sir, how many users you are having it? So ఎంతమంది వాడతారు, right? మీకు ఎంతమంది వాడతారు? So how many users are going to use this application? So we will say, sir, for now it's around 2 to 3 people, sir. Okay. So maybe in future we may extend to 10 or 12. So in future లో మనకి maybe 10 members వాడచ్చు, 12 members వాడచ్చు. Okay. So now, so I will suggest Subbu garu, right? So we have, okay, for example, so before going to that, so మనం అప్లికేషన్ డెవలప్ చేసేసాం. ఓకే, సింపుల్గా మనం ఒక అప్లికేషన్ డెవలప్ చేసేసాం. ఆ అప్లికేషన్ ఎవరు వాడతారు ఇప్పుడు స్విస్లో అంటే, సో ఇఫ్ యూ ఈ అప్లికేషన్ ఎవరు వాడతారు మనకి, ఎవరు వాడతారు అంటే, సో వెన్ ఎవర్ యూ ఎంటర్ ఇన్ టు ద Swhizz Technologies, right, the one who is gathering your information, మీరు అక్కడ ఫామ్ ఫిల్ చేశారా, ఆ ఫామ్ ఫిల్ చేయడం ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ ద పర్సన్ హూ ఈస్ టేకింగ్ యువర్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఈజ్ ద Swhizz guy who is using our application. Our application in the sense, whatever the application I developed, like we developed, that application will be used by the Swhizz, that guy, right? So that's what the CZ guy. Here Swhizz guy, right? He is the end user. So Subbu, so having a business, so he has a requirement that we have to develop an application, small application, where so they need some fields to be displayed on the UI, where this CZ guy, like the Swhizz guy, will enter all the information and click on save. And this information will be stored in the Swhizz server, right? So whenever Subbu wants to get the data, right? So he will just, so we will provide him a tab. So where whenever he click on the tab, he will get all the details. So whatever the CZ guy entered, so he will get all the details. He can access the data from anywhere because the data is in the cloud, Salesforce cloud, right? So this Swhizz guy is the end user. You got it? Who is the end user? So మనం సుబ్బు గారు మన దగ్గరకు వచ్చారు. సో సుబ్బు గారు ఈజ్ ద క్లయింట్ ఫర్ అస్. క్లయింట్ అంటే ఎవరు? who will give the work to us. So who will have requirement with them, మన దగ్గరికి వచ్చి డెవలప్ చేయండి అని అడుగుతున్నారు. సో వీఆర్ ద కంపెనీ నౌ. సో వీ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ కంపెనీ, బట్ యాజ్ ఎ వెండర్గా, సో వీఆర్ ది వెండర్స్ ఫర్ ది క్లయింట్. ఇక్కడ సుబ్బు గారు వెండర్ అంటే మనం, బికాస్ వీఆర్ డూయింగ్ ద వర్క్ ఫర్ హిమ్. సో మనం డెవలప్ చేసి ఇచ్చేసాం. సుబ్బు గారు వాడరు, సుబ్బు గారు కూడా వాడతారు, కానీ మెయిన్ అప్లికేషన్ ఎవరైతే ఈ గ్యాదర్ చేస్తారో ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్, సో వాళ్ళు ఎండ్ యూజర్స్ అంటారు. ఇప్పుడు మీరు కూకట్పల్లికి ఎక్స్పాండ్ చేసాం. కూకట్పల్లిలో కూడా దెర్ విల్ బి ఏ గై హూ విల్ గ్యాదర్ ఆల్ ద ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్. నేను విజయవాడకి వెళ్ళాను, విజయవాడలో బ్రాంచ్ పెట్టాను, అక్కడ కూడా దెర్ విల్ బి ఏ గై హూ విల్ గ్యాదర్ ఆల్ ద ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్, రైట్? అలానే నేను ముంబైలో బ్రాంచ్ ఎక్స్పాండ్ చేశాను. సో ది 4 ఏరియాస్లో 4 డిఫరెంట్ యూజర్స్ ఉంటారు. సో యూజర్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ హూ విల్ యూజ్ ద అప్లికేషన్, రైట్? సో ఎండ్ యూజర్ అంటే వాళ్ళు. ఓకే, సో వాళ్ళు యాక్సెస్ చేశాక సో హీ కెన్ యాక్సెస్ ద డేటా ఫ్రమ్ ఎనీవేర్. ఓకే, సో అయిపోయింది. సో నౌ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ కమింగ్ టు ది క్రాంప్టన్ గ్రేప్స్. ఓకే, సో వాళ్ళ దగ్గర ఏముంటాయి? సో క్రాంప్టన్ గ్రేప్స్ విల్ బి హ్యావింగ్ ద ప్రొడక్ట్స్, రైట్? సో ప్రొడక్ట్స్ అంటే మనకి ఫ్యాన్స్ ఉండొచ్చు, సో డిఫరెంట్ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్యాన్స్, కూలర్స్, సో డిఫరెంట్ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ ఏసీస్, right? Different types of electrical equipment. So different types of products ఉంటాయి. సో ప్రొడక్ట్స్ ఉన్నప్పుడు సో కస్టమర్స్ విల్ బై దేర్ ప్రొడక్ట్స్, రైట్? సో కస్టమర్స్ అనేవాళ్ళు 2 types ఆఫ్ కస్టమర్స్ ఉంటారు. సో వన్ ఈజ్ ఏ ఇండివిజువల్. ఇప్పుడు నాకు క్రాంప్టన్ ఫ్యాన్ కావాలి యాజ్ ఎ ఇండివిజువల్గా. సో ఐ విల్ గో టు ద shop and I will buy. So I am an individual customer for the Crompton grapes, right? Now, so what are the other customers we have? For example, I want to buy the Crompton product for the company. Like for Swhizz Technologies, I need to buy it. Then I am a dealer. Okay. So customers maybe, in their terms, అంటే మనం కంపెనీ ఫర్మ్ పెట్టుకున్నప్పుడు ఫర్మ్ angle we are the customers, but they are divided as into two parts. One is an individual customer and one is a dealer customer, right? So మనం ఏం చేస్తాం, సో యాజ్ ఎ కంపెనీగా సో వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తారు, if they are using our Salesforce application అనుకుందాం, ఈ ప్రొడక్ట్స్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అంతా ఎక్కడ పెడతారు, క్లౌడ్లో పెడతారు, రైట్? ఇఫ్ దే ఆర్ యూజింగ్ ఇట్, ఆ డేటా అంతా ఎవరు ఎంటర్ చేస్తారు, సేల్స్ రెప్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు సేవ్ ద రికార్డ్స్ ఇన్ ద క్లౌడ్. సో ఈ ప్రొడక్ట్స్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్, కస్టమర్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్, ఎంటైర్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ has to stored in the cloud by the sales rep, right? సింపుల్గా చెప్పాలంటే, సో దేర్ విల్ బి ఏ సేల్స్ అప్లికేషన్. సో అదే క్రాంప్టన్ మన దగ్గరికి వచ్చారు, సో యాజ్ ఎ టీమ్గా, సో వాళ్ళకి దే నీడ్ ఎన్ అప్లికేషన్ లైక్ స్విస్ టెక్నాలజీకి ఎలాగైతే అప్లికేషన్ కావాలో, క్రాంప్టన్ వాళ్ళకి కూడా ఒక అప్లికేషన్ కావాలి. సో దే ఆస్క్డ్ us to create a sales application, sir, for our Crompton Greaves. Okay, so what we are going to do, so we will create an application for them, and again we will ask the same thing, sir, how many users so you want. సో మనం ఎందుకు అడగాలి అనేది మనం నెక్స్ట్ గోయింగ్ ఫార్వర్డ్ స్లైడ్లో చూద్దాం. ఓకే, సో ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఎండ్ యూజర్ ఎవరు, క్రాంప్టన్ గ్రీవ్స్కి. సో ఇన్ దిస్ స్క్రీన్ షాట్, హూ ఇస్ ద ఎండ్ యూజర్? Can anybody tell who is the end user for this Crompton Greaves? CG sales rep. CG sales rep is the end user because he will use this Salesforce application, because he is the front end guy. So who will use our application? Okay. Yeah. So ఇప్పుడు మనకి, సో we got క్లారిటీ వచ్చింది ఇప్పుడు. సో వీ నీడ్ టు గో ఫర్ సేల్స్ ఫోర్స్ ప్రొడక్ట్ అని సుబ్బు గారికి క్లారిటీ వచ్చింది. సో కమింగ్ బ్యాక్ టు స్విస్ టెక్నాలజీస్. ఓకే, సో నౌ సో వీ నీడ్ టు డిసైడ్ యాజ్ ఏ డెవలపర్స్గా, యాజ్ ఏ కంపెనీగా, వీ హ్యావ్ టు ఇన్ఫార్మ్ సుబ్బు గారు, లైక్, సో ఏది తీసుకుందాం. సో సేల్స్ ఫోర్స్లో మల్టిపుల్ ప్రొడక్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఎక్స్టర్డే వీ హ్యాడ్ డిస్కస్డ్, రైట్? సో సేల్స్ ఫోర్స్ వీ హ్యావ్ మల్టిపుల్ ప్రొడక్ట్స్. సో వాట్ ప్రొడక్ట్ వీ విల్ చూస్, బికాస్ ఒక్కొక్క ప్రోడక్ట్కి ఒక కాస్ట్ ఉంటుంది. సో ఎవ్రీ ప్రోడక్ట్ విల్ బీ హ్యావింగ్ సర్టెన్ కాస్ట్. సో డిసైడెడ్ ఆల్రెడీ, అది మనం సేల్స్ ఫోర్స్ వాళ్ళతో కమ్యూనికేట్ చేస్తే దే విల్ ఇన్ఫార్మ్ అస్, లైక్ ఏ ప్రోడక్ట్కి ఎంత ప్రైస్ ఉంది అనేది క్లియర్లీ దే విల్ ఇన్ఫార్మ్. నౌ సో ఇది మన స్విస్ టెక్నాలజీస్ బిజినెస్, రైట్? ఇదే బిజినెస్ జియో ఉంది ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. సో జియో వాడికి కూడా సేమ్ యూఐ ఉండాలి, సేమ్ బ్యాక్ అండ్ సర్వర్ ఉండాలి, రైట్? నౌ ఇప్పుడు మనది చిన్న అప్లికేషన్, జస్ట్ ఒక 10 to 15 యూజర్స్ మ్యాక్సిమం. ఓకే, మన అప్లికేషన్ వాడతారు. బట్ జియో వచ్చేసరికి అరౌండ్ 1000 to 15,000 యూజర్స్. సో దే విల్ యూజ్ ద అప్లికేషన్, అంటే మనం డెవలప్ చేసే అప్లికేషన్. ఇప్పుడు మనం సేల్స్ ఫోర్స్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్తే, ఇప్పుడు మనకి 15,000 యూజర్స్ లైసెన్స్ ఇస్తే మనకి వేస్ట్ అవుతుంది, రైట్? అలానే ఇప్పుడు జియో వాడికి మనది ఇస్తే సరిపోదు. ఓకే, 10 యూజర్స్ లైసెన్స్ ఇస్తే సరిపోదు. సో అంటే ఇక్కడ, సో జియో వాడిది చాలా పెద్ద బిజినెస్, సో మనది స్మాల్ బిజినెస్ అనుకుందాం. సో మధ్యలో ఇంకా హెరిటేజ్ వాడు వచ్చాడు. హెరిటేజ్ కూడా దే వాంట్ టు యూజ్ ద సేల్స్ ఫోర్స్ ప్రొడక్ట్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. సో వాడికి ఒక 500 మెంబర్ యూజర్స్ ఉంటారు. సో వాళ్ళ ఎండ్ యూజర్స్ వచ్చేసి 500 మెంబర్స్ వాడతారు అప్లికేషన్, అంటే మనం డెవలప్ చేసిన అప్లికేషన్. ఇప్పుడు ఈ ముగ్గురికి ఒకే ఇన్స్టెన్స్ ఇస్తే నేను, సో బిజినెస్ విల్ గ్రో, యాజ్ మై బిజినెస్ విల్ గ్రో, ఆర్ ఎందుకంటే నేను అదే కాస్ట్ నేను పెట్టలేను స్విస్కి, ఎందుకంటే 1000 లైసెన్స్ నాకు వద్దు, బట్ ఐ నీడ్ టు యూజ్ సేల్స్ ఫోర్స్. అలానే హెరిటేజ్ వాడికి 1000 లైసెన్సెస్ వద్దు, హీ వాంట్స్ ఓన్లీ 500 లైసెన్సెస్, రైట్? సో ఇప్పుడు సేల్స్ ఫోర్స్ వాడు, in order to capture all the businesses, okay, in order to capture all the businesses, he has implemented the editions. Okay, editions అని ఉంటాయి. సో ఇన్ సేల్స్ ఫోర్స్ we have different types of editions. Edition అంటే ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఇప్పుడు అన్లిమిటెడ్ ఎడిషన్ ఉంటుంది. So we have unlimited editions. So what are the editions in Salesforce? We have unlimited edition, enterprise edition, professional edition, developer edition. Okay, we have 4 different kinds of editions. So 4 కాదు ఇంకా చాలా వచ్చాయి. Okay, so ఎందుకు? So why Salesforce introduced these editions? Okay, unlimited edition. For example, అంటే ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళ బిజినెసెస్ బట్టి సో యూ కెన్ చూజ్ యువర్ ఎడిషన్. ఇప్పుడు అన్లిమిటెడ్ ఎడిషన్ అంటే వాడికి చాలా కాస్ట్ ఉంటుంది. లైక్ ఒక 20 lakhs ఉంటుంది. సో మన బడ్జెట్ ఎంత ఇక్కడ? ఓన్లీ 1 lakh. అలాగే హెరిటేజ్ వాడికి ఒక 10 lakhs ఉంటుంది వాడిది అంటే బడ్జెట్. జియో వాడికి 20 lakhs బడ్జెట్ ఉంది. ఎందుకు అంటే వాళ్ళ బిజినెస్ పెద్దది. సో హెరిటేజ్ వాడిది ఇంకొంచెం చిన్నది. మనకి అంత బిజినెస్ అవసరం లేదు. మనకి ఇంకొంచెం చిన్నది. సో ఇట్లా ఉండడం వల్ల వాళ్ళేం చేశారు సేల్స్‌ఫోర్స్ వాడు అందరూ మన అప్లికేషన్ వాడాలి. తక్కువ వాళ్ళు వాడాలి, పెద్దవాళ్ళు వాడాలి. సో అందుకు వాళ్ళు ఎడిషన్స్‌ని తీసుకొచ్చారు. అన్‌లిమిటెడ్ ఎడిషన్ అంటే ద నేమ్ ఇట్‌సెల్ఫ్ సేస్ యూ అన్‌లిమిటెడ్. మీరు ఎంతైనా వాడుకోవచ్చు. ఓకే. ఎంతమంది యూజర్స్‌ని క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. అన్‌లిమిటెడ్ ఎడిషన్.
Sir, please take the class in English, sir.
Yeah, sure, Ashish. Yeah. I'm just covering both in English and Telugu because
Okay, sir.
yeah. Yeah, so we have unlimited edition. So unlimited edition, the name itself represents. So we have full access for this edition. So in a similar way, so we have the other editions also, enterprise edition. For example, Heritage guy will take the enterprise edition for 10 lakhs. Geo will take unlimited edition for 20 lakhs. So at the same time, so we have to take professional edition, so which will cost around 1 lakh. That's it. So what is the differences, sir? So what we have the differences in these editions, sir, means there's a license count, okay, and also the storage capacity. Okay, if you take the unlimited edition, they will give so more space. So like 10 GB they will give, and also the user licenses are like around 1000 to 2000. Okay, they will provide. Salesforce will provide. If you take the enterprise edition, right? So they will give just 500 licenses, and also they will have some 500 MB data space. I mean, I'm saying just examples. Okay. So we took professional edition. Professional edition will be having around 20 to 30 licenses, right? And the cost is 1 lakh, and the space they will provide is 200 MB, right? So here we need to inform to Subbu like, sir, we can take the professional edition for now because still we are restricted to Madhapur. In future, you can take, you can upgrade to enterprise edition also. And also you can upgrade to professional edition also if you want it, right? So these are the options that Salesforce provided in order to capture all the businesses. Okay. So simple terms, I can say, each and every edition will be having their limitations. So limitations in the sense, many limitations like user level limitation is there, storage level limitation is there, features wise limitation also will be there. Okay, the agent force feature so may not have, we will not have in professional edition. That agent force feature will be having only in unlimited edition because that is a service he is providing, Salesforce guy, to unlimited edition only. If you want to enable that feature in enterprise edition, they will charge extra. Okay, in the simple terms. So we have to choose our edition. That's it. So edition means that. So you guys have to go to internet after this class and you guys just search what are the editions we have in Salesforce. Okay, I just explained only 4 editions, but so we have many editions. So what are the limitations we have across these editions? Okay, you guys just go and search for editions. Okay, this is the edition. So now I inform Subbu sir, like, sir, we just can take the professional edition, sir. That is enough because so we are just having 10 to 12 users, right? So you can just go for professional editions. Okay, now So what Salesforce will give to us? Okay, he will give the main sandbox. So I mean, remember this word sandbox. Okay, these are the terms so we are going to use in Salesforce training. Sandbox, instance. Okay, so what is a sandbox? So you said sandbox. So what is sandbox, for example? Okay, what is sandbox? Sandbox అంటే ఏం లేదు. Okay, sandbox is nothing but మనం Salesforce దగ్గర ఒక instance. So we bought an instance, right? So we bought, sir, we want professional edition, sir. We paid 1 lakh to the Salesforce, and he has given us the product. That is what? Professional edition product, where you can create up to 10 users, 10 or 15 users max, right? He has given us the instance or box. So this is what I have shown in this. This is what the production. So the main box he will give to us, where you need to, where the end users will use this production. Okay, production ante em ledu. Production is nothing but live environment or actual environment. Okay, అంటే మనం Salesforce దగ్గర వెళ్ళి product తీసుకుంటే they will give this product to us. Production, that is known as production. So we got the production. Okay, so as a developers, so we got the production. Now what the next thing we need to ask? Sir, can you tell me in what way you need the UI? I will ask Subbu. So you can just give me the design, like how you want, right? So before that, so we need, see, so production is the main environment, right? So I need to clone this environment first thing. So because, so directly I can't do the changes in the production environment, right? For that, I need to clone the sandboxes, right? So clone in the sense, I need to clone the dev sandbox from the production. Okay, you will be having the option to clone it. So they will, so we have limitations also here. Okay, for professional sandbox, you can clone only one dev sandbox or 2 sandboxes. But for unlimited, you can clone 100 sandboxes also. So that is a limitation. So Salesforce is giving, okay, for the additions to edition. So now what I will do? So I will clone, so dev sandbox, and I will clone another sandbox. I will clone another sandbox. So like this, I will clone 3 sandboxes. Okay. Sandbox, what is meant by sandbox? So we are going to learn now. Okay. Sandbox ante em ledante. Sandbox is nothing but it is an isolated environment that enables users to run programs, execute files without affecting the application or system or platform on which they run. ఓకే, అంటే ఏం లేదు. ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నేను ఒక అప్లికేషన్ ఇచ్చాను. సో ఐ డెవలప్డ్ అన్ అప్లికేషన్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. సో కెన్ ఐ డెలివర్ డైరెక్ట్లీ దట్ అప్లికేషన్ టు సుబ్బు? సో మనం అందరం, సో వీ యాజ్ అ టీమ్ డెవలప్డ్ అన్ అప్లికేషన్. వి 20 members developed one application based on the requirement given by Subbu, right? So directly can I deliver to Subbu to use the application? No, right?
No, sir.
Yeah, because, so what are the steps we need to do as a developer? So once developed the application, we need to test the application, right? Whether everything is working properly or not. So we need to test the application first. So after testing, can I directly give to Subbu? No. Again, we need to test from the business side also. For example, I developed in my laptop. It is working in my laptop, right? The same thing. So a testing team, like some Ayush is there. So Ayush is a tester, for example. So in Ayush system also it is working fine. Can I directly give to Subbu? No. So this application should work in the Subbu system also. Subbu side server also, right? So
Right.
again, there will be a guy who will sit on the Subbu side. So he will test first. After that only we will deliver to Subbu. So these are the steps every development process will be following it, right? So for that, I need 3 sandboxes. Okay, I need 3 sandboxes. So first sandbox is dev. Okay, dev is for us. Dev is for us in the sense developers. Okay, whatever the changes Subbu sir wants, so we will develop in dev environment. Okay, then we will push those changes into the QA. QA in the sense QA team will be having, like for example, here Ayush is the QA team. So he will be testing in this sandbox, QA sandbox. Okay, now we will deploy. Once everything is tested, we will deploy it to mod. We will deploy it to UAT. UAT is nothing but on Subbu's side, you have a guy who will test it, right? So that is the UAT sandbox. These are the terms which we need to follow in every project. So when you go to any company, right, these are the terms they will follow. So dev sandbox, QA is nothing but quality assurance. Okay, UAT is for business. Business will test it. Okay. So after that, once business validates it, so we will deploy to production. So I given to the UAT, okay, whatever I developed, I have given to UAT, for example. So UAT in the sense, the guy who sits in the client side, okay, he will test the application. So he wants something to be added or removed. Sir, I didn't like this logo, sir. You can just so remove that logo. Then again, it will come to dev environment. Again, from dev environment, we will remove it and we will give it back to QA first. And from QA, again, it will go to the UAT. If everything is valid in UAT, then only we are going to deploy it to production. So what is this deployment, sir? So these are all the technical terms. Okay. Deployment is nothing but we need to push the changes to one environment to another environment. సో మీరు అందుకే సో వింటూ ఉంటారు సార్ డిప్లాయ్మెంట్ ఈజ్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ ఇన్ వీకెండ్స్. సో సమ్ టైమ్స్ వెన్ యూ సీ ఎనీ సైట్, సో సర్వర్ ఇన్ మెయింటెనెన్స్. Okay, so what is the server is in maintenance? That is nothing but there is something happening into the production. So some deployment they are doing it. Some critical updates they are pushing into production. Okay, simple. That is what the deployment. So these are all the terms every company. So when you go to any company, right? So same terms as deployment is there in weekend. I can't come to. So if you ask some working friend in your company to come to some place, so he will tell us the deployment is there. What is deployment means? This is what. So in general, so weekends, so they will do the deployments because nobody so will use the application in the weekends, right? So that's what. So you guys understand, right? What is sandbox? Right? Clear? And what is UAT and what is edition? It's clear, right? Any doubts? Yes, if you have any doubts, please ask me, okay? Yeah. So now, you told sandbox. So what are the types of sandboxes Salesforce is giving to us? It is a developer sandbox. It's only for developers. Okay. Developer Pro. Okay. Partial copy and full copy. So I bought the professional edition, right? So I bought a professional edition from the Salesforce. So he has given me a sandbox. That is a production sandbox he will give to me. From that production sandbox, I need to clone the sandboxes. So these are all the types of sandboxes it will be available when you are trying to clone the production sandbox. The full copy sandbox. What is meant by full copy sandbox? Full copy sandbox is nothing but it is a replica of production. So like whatever we have in the production, the same thing will come into the full copy sandbox. So in general, we will clone the full copy sandbox for the UAT, because UAT is the business side, right? So developer side sandbox and business sandbox should be the same. So that's why, so uh, in general, so we will clone the full copy sandbox for the UAT instance. Okay. Sir, what is the differences between the sandboxes? So developer sandbox, so we'll be having only the full access for the metadata. Okay. Oh, give me a minute, guys. Yeah. So developer pro. So what is meant by developer? So you can store some data in the developer pro sandbox. So they have the limitations. Partial copy. Partial copy means, for example, I have 100% of data in my production sandbox. When I clone the full copy sandbox, 100% data will come to the full copy. So partial copy. So when I clone the partial copy sandbox, I will get only 70% of data. That is a restriction by Salesforce. When you when you clone the developer pro sandbox, so you will get only 50% of data. Okay. When you clone developer sandbox, so 0% data will come. So only developer sandbox will be having only metadata. It is not having any data. Okay, when we clone it. So you can create the data. Okay, but when you're trying to clone the sandbox, right, you may not get all the data in all the sandboxes except full copy. Okay, so in detail you will understand. When you're going into the application, right, you will understand what is full copy, what is partial copy, because you need to you need to create an account in developer edition and you need to try to clone it. Then only you will understand it. Okay, so now yeah. So now what I did, I have a production from Salesforce and I just cloned UAT sandbox as a full copy and QA sandbox as a partial copy and DevBox as a developer sandbox. Okay, because UAT should have entire data like production. That's why I just cloned full copy sandbox for UAT, partial copy for QA, and developer sandbox for dev sandbox, because we no need of data, right? We don't want data as a developers. We don't want data. We just create an application. That's it. QA team needs data in order to test the scenario. So that's why we created partial copy. So business will need entire data. So that's why we created full copy sandbox. Okay. Yeah. So coming to the developer edition. So I told, right? So we have 4 different types of editions. We have unlimited edition, professional edition, enterprise edition, developer edition. So Salesforce also have this developer edition. So why Salesforce need the developer edition? Developer edition is nothing but it's a free of cost. It is only for developers. అంటే మన కోసం మనం నేర్చుకోవడం కోసం he Salesforce created a separate edition called developer edition. అది ఏం లేదు. It is also a production. Production అంటే ఏం కాదు. Just so whatever features we have in the uh, unlimited edition, the same thing will come here. Okay. So login.salesforce.com. So that is the production URL. Okay, we are going to use it. Okay. So Mari, sir, what is the URL for the sandboxes, sir? So it is test.salesforce.com. When you're trying to use https://login.salesforce.com, it will ask you the username and password. So whenever you give the username and password, it will log in into the production. So test.salesforce.com represents the sandboxes. Okay. Yeah. So today, so what you're going to do is you just create your account. Okay. Just to try to create a login for you guys. So just open https://developer.salesforce.com. Okay. So whenever you open this, so there will be a sign up button there. Okay. Just go to the sign up button and yeah. So go to this site. So developer.salesforce.com. and just try to sign up it. So what it will do, it will create you the developer edition. Developer edition is for free. Okay. Just Salesforce provided this edition to attract the developers. So to develop, to learn, to develop anything on our own. Okay. So Miru, you can give your first name, last name, email, role. I mean, these are all not mandatory, but main mandatory fields are email, username, first name, last name. Okay. Just so try to create your own developer edition org. Okay. And so click on sign me up. So it will send you an email. Okay. Just for verification. Okay. You will get an email from Salesforce to verify your email address. So once you click on that verified, so it will allow you to log into the Salesforce sandbox. Okay. Salesforce instance. Okay. That is a production instance. There is a production sandbox. All are same. Okay. So today you guys just go and create an account. Okay. So you will understand like, so how the things will come and how the Salesforce product will be looks like. Okay. So this is a just a basic thing. Like, so first we need to create an account. After that, we need to start digging into the product. Okay. Now we have, I mean, till now what you have learned. So we just project, like how the project will come. So who is the client and who is the developer, who is a vendor, and so how we need to decide which technology or which platform we need to choose or we need to suggest to the client, right? And who is the end user who is using our application. Like, see how Salesforce, so have different types of editions we have and what are the sandboxes, right? All these things we have learned today, right? So just create an account today for now and just go to the Salesforce site and see how, I mean, what are the editions we have and what are the differences we have. Okay. So I need you guys to explore first. Okay. So just, it's not like listening the class. Okay. So you guys has to go to the site and just, so search whatever I said. Okay. What are the products we have and what are the sandboxes they're offering? What are the editions they're offering? Okay. Just to go through it and just create an account on your own and we'll meet. Okay. After. Yeah, I think I'm done for today. Any questions, guys? Any questions till now? I mean, today's session is something we are just entering into the Salesforce terms, right? So it will be little bit not catchy words because so going forward you will understand these words and all because this is the first try, right? So extra day class is just like it's just a demo kind of thing, right? But today it is, we are slowly digging into the Salesforce technology. Okay. Just go to, I mean, after this demo, just so open the website and create an account and you can see the editions you have. Okay. Everything you can find in the Salesforce website. Okay. So any questions, guys? Okay, then. So that's all from my side. Thanks everyone for joining the demo.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, if you have any questions now, just reach out to Subbu. Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
thanks.
Thank you, sir.